Because I'm familiar with the five love languages, and like for mine, it would be words of affirmation and quality time, where my partner's is receiving gifts, right? Is act services, but she likes words of affirmation as well. But to your point, and I'm glad that you give that example because I look for encouragement, right? You've done something well, thank you for being able to do this for me. But when I trace it back and I figure it out, it's because growing up I didn't hear that.
Yeah.
So that's where I found out, right? Whereas receiving gifts was something that was used to cover up maybe insecurities or shortcomings of the family unit. So I grew to not like it because I always associated it with something bad instead of something good. So as you
Yeah.
pointed out, right, if we don't define it, we may put ourselves in a situation where we don't communicate properly to our partner that we want to receive it and how to receive it. And if we don't speak up, they may be doing something that they think is so amazing, and to us it's kind of like blah, right?
Yeah. And it becomes a withdrawal even. I had this couple, this was a while back, that the the husband went through great lengths to get this like purse for her birthday. And it was, like identifying the style she wanted. So it's like he went through this because to him, gift giving is his way of showing love. Gift receiving is not her way of receiving love, right? What she wanted was words of affirmation and quality time. So when she received the gift, he imagined that it would be a lump sum deposit in their emotional bank account. But the currency exchange didn't translate. And so when she got it, she's like, oh, it's so beautiful, and put it to the side. And then it became a withdrawal for him because he has certain expectations of what her reaction would be. Yeah.
So is that then the responsibility of the person who is doing the act or the responsibility of the person receiving it, or maybe a little bit of column A and a little bit of column B?
I think it's both. I think as us getting to know one another, right? Like, so you can only know the deposits that land for me if I am able to tell you them. And I can only know the deposits that land for you if you tell me that, right? So if we're able to express to one another our likes and dislikes, what I need from you to give you what you need. I love using that question, especially for boundary purposes, right? What I need from you to give you what you need. Um, how do you want to be loved, right? So how can I love you in a way that you want to be loved, and how can you love me in a way that I want to be loved? It's kind of, let's go back to gift giving. Am I giving a gift that I know you want, or am I giving the gift that I want to give you?
That's a question I had to learn to ask myself early on because I would see something and it would remind me of the person. Back when I
Mm-hmm.
used to give gifts, right? I had to relearn how to give it because for my past couple of relationships, even though it's something that I wouldn't receive, they wanted it, right? So I had to learn that very early on. So what I did was I would start to ask questions and pick up on clues. But to your point, right? Like sometimes we see something, we're like, oh, okay, I think she's going to look good in this, but does she think she's going to look good in it? Right? And I think that's
Yeah,
the power of communication because how many of us ask the question that way? What do you think?
yeah. I really appreciate that. There are people that like they like to go through the process of gift giving and surprising the other, and I think there's nothing wrong with that. Like being thought of is really nice. I do think that there's the expectation, right? When we, if part of our love language is gift giving, part of the gift giving is the reaction of the person receiving it. If the person whom I'm giving a gift to is not a gift receiver, if I'm not aware of that, I'm going to be disappointed every time. If I'm aware of that, then I know that it's about me giving you the gift more than you receiving it. Because that's how I receive love, by giving that gift. Does that make sense?
Yes, because now I'm imagining someone, they've worked hard, right? A lot of us work hard for our money. They go out and they get something, and then it doesn't meet the expectations that they have set for the gift to be received. You do that once, you get a little disappointed in yourself because the person didn't react the way you wanted to. And then instead of communicating that, you just try again, right? Act of insanity, doing the same thing over and over, expecting different result.
Expecting
You try a
different,
second
yeah.
time, right? Now you're frustrated. You're like, why doesn't he like my gift? You're like, okay, I'm going to try one more time. Same thing. You try one more time. And now everyone is annoyed because this person has, in their own way, right? They kind of give you subtle clues. Maybe something else, right? Where you're as on the other end, you're like, why doesn't he like my gift? Now you have
Mhm.
frustration, right? Do you see that then maybe creating a wedge between the two people in their relationship if that were to happen?
It can if we don't listen to one another, right? Sometimes I'm so worried, it's so frustrated about one, not feeling heard, and two, I didn't do what you're accusing me of. They were so focused on the me that we're not listening to what our partner is saying. Um, One of the things that I talk about in the book, which is not an IAP thing, is just a general couples therapy, is reflecting, right? And the science of reflecting is repeating back to you what you said and what I understood from what you said, and then giving you the opportunity to tell me whether I need to be corrected or not. And when we reflect, it requires for us to listen. Because a lot of the times, when the other person is talking, I am not listening because I am thinking about my argument and how to defend myself.